Hello guys and welcome back to my channel Firewall Gyaan. Today we are going to talk about core security framework, the core of your cybersecurity, core of your network security, core of any sort of security, which is nothing but a CIA triad called confidentiality, integrity, availability. This video is very crucial for everyone who like to pursue their career in cybersecurity, plus who want to achieve cybersecurity, not only in your corporate life, but in your daily life. I am going to cover too many examples, too many use cases, and real time analysis. Why this confidentiality, integrity, and availability matters, and what it actually means. As you can see on my screen, I have three images. Okay, one indicates something like a lock. This one, I would say some sort of lock is there. Then you need to open this lock and then see what is in that complete locker. Then I have something here which is some sort of stamp, right? And this stamp indicate is something legitimate. And here I have some lights you can see on these boxes on these servers. Those indicates this is in working state. Okay, so what this means, I mean, if I want to tell you based on this example what it means, so this image indicates confidentiality, this image integrates your integrity, and this image indicates your availability. Let's talk about the confidentiality. Confidentiality ensures sensitive information is only seen by authorized eye. Now consider you watching this video and you are authorized to see this word confidentiality. Then I will say the information is secure and only seen by the one who authorized to see. But if you are not authorized to see this word, say confidentiality, I would say the confidentiality is protected here. Like you are not seeing this word confidentiality because you are not authorized to see it. If you are authorized to see it, you can see it, but if you are not authorized to see it, you won't be able to see it. In simple term, confidentiality means ensuring whatever information you are sharing to someone, he or she only able to see it. In short, the authorized guy, person, or a party only able to see those details. This means you are achieving feature called confidentiality. All right. Now, confidentiality ensures sensitive information is only seen by authorized eyes. When I talk about the confidentiality, you will get too many examples. Consider you are working in some IT organization, okay? If you have assigned a project, and in that project you need to manage all companies' financial records, and the records having details of employee salaries, employee bonuses, employee appraisal related things, okay? For now, consider these details are sensitive and need not to be shared with employees whose details is not that. Like, if I am the employee, I should get the only details which is related to me. And my colleague, he should not get the details which is related to me. He only get the details which is related to his account, like his salary slips, his appraisal letters, his other details, right? The bonuses and all. But due to something, my account details got shown to the my colleagues and his account details got shown to me. What will happen? You are sharing the confidential details which is only authorized to my colleague or to me. Now, consider if my details got shared to my colleague and his details got shared to me, then you breaking the confidentiality feature. So, details, information, whatever it is, it should be accessible only to authorized parties. In that sense, you will be achieving confidentiality. Confidentiality ensures sensitive information is only seen by authorized eyes. For my example, my details should be seen by my eyes, but not my colleague's eyes, right? And his information, his details should be seen by him only, not me. And it applies to everyone, right? So, confidentiality, if you want to achieve, it works on some defense approach. So this is what I have derived, like a layered approach which we need to keep in mind to achieve confidentiality in an easy way. So number one thing, always remember, you need to know about your information. You need to know about what you are protecting, right? So, and at what level protection you need for those details. Like number one, you need to classify it, right? Classify means you need to label that information, that data, as per the sensitivity. For example, in networking world, we have two things, right? The internal network where your all internal servers and everything gets assigned, or we store it there. And we have a external network where something, or we have a DMZ network, the demilitarized zone, where we keep our publicly accessible servers, right? Like a web server or something like that. So if you label which server is your internal server and which server is your DMZ server, or you classify that, then it's easy for you in events of some sort of malicious activities, which thing you need to give more priority. Although, for example, we know if something is externally facing, like that demilitarized zone web servers, it may get impacted with some external threats, attacks, and we need to have a countermeasure to protect that, right? But in case same is happening to my internal network, so I would say some defense which we should have for the internal network to be get protected, that defense get compromised, and now I'm getting some internal attacks, right? So to having this classification, right, where these things is getting happening, like those attacks, I can understand or I can do more on confidentiality feature achieving things, right? For the publicly accessible network, I know that I have these things in the public network and this is subject to attack or something like that, and I have a defense mechanism like a firewalls or some IPS IDS things to see, detect, and protect. But something which is in internal and external world is getting access to this, that has to give more priority, more attention than what we used to give for the external things, right? So classifying what sensitive data you have, based on that you can keep it or you can protect it. So that is one thing as per the layer defense. I feel the classification is important when we talk about the confidentiality. The number two thing is restrict. It's like you can enforce lot of things to protect that things. For example, same example, if you consider we have one web server in demilitarized zone, DMZ zone, and web server is in internal zone. So the one which is in a internal side, it only need to be accessed by say internal users or the employees, and the one which is at the DMZ, it's accessible for the rest of the world. So what sort of restrictions access we required there? For internal side, we only give the permission based on whosoever is internally working with this organization. So those things. Technically, if I talk about say, if some subnets like a internal subnets having those employee computers in that, like a VLAN, those only accessing those internal servers. But not by the outside world. To have those restrictions, we will configure those internal switches, internal firewalls, and all those things, right? We can achieve that using having those access control list in the firewalls and all those things. But we should know what we need to restrict, okay, and what permission we require over there. So that is what we can talk about restrictions features, what we can get when we talk about the confidentiality layer defense approach. I hope this is clear. Next one I will talk about is scramble. This means something you protect, but that protection also need to have certain attributes. Like, if I am protecting my internal web servers and only accessible by the internal users or employees, but those also need to get more protection. Like, for example, if one employee is accessing, say, my web server and doing some, you know, activity on that, that activity can be captured by the internal users. If someone is internal who's malicious in their thinking and he want to see like what that employee is doing, so that can be get captured, right, using some basic man in the middle sort of attacks that could be happen. For that, that communication happening from the employee PC to the internal server, that need to be encrypted, right? This is a small example, but consider it in a larger sense. For example, someone is accessing your web server, which is in a demilitarized zone from the outside world. If that access user who's doing the access to the web server, who is in an external demilitarized zone, is legitimate user and he is doing some activities on that, so those activities also get protected, right? So those things also not get attacked by man in the middle attacks, something like that. So that details also need to be get encrypted, right? So encryption also need to achieve when we talk about the confidentiality feature. We have too many algorithms for the encryption. The latest one which we have is AES 256. This is a key length. So achieving confidentiality, the first three things you need: classification, restrictions, and the sensitive data protection algorithms, right? So it is also important what we are protecting, right? And at what stage we need to protect that. So for example, the data which is residing to those web servers and it is getting accessible, there's two stage, right? So one we call it as like a data at rest and data at transit, right? So both time when it is in a rest, for example, it is in that server, no one is accessing it, uh, that sense that data need to get protected using this sort of algorithms. And whenever it is in a transit also they need to get protected, like using some security protocols like HTTPS and more. So this is something you can keep in your mind to achieve a confidentiality. I hope the confidentiality things got clear to you. Now let's talk about next thing, which is integrity. Integrity ensures information remain accurate, trustworthy, and unaltered. What do you mean by integrity? Simple definition is integrity ensures information remains accurate, trustworthy, and unaltered. What this means? So consider integrity. We all know Microsoft patches every Tuesday they release, and on those patches you'll be getting vulnerability protections. I mean, you'll getting a code who's giving some protection to existing vulnerabilities what is found on your Microsoft releases. Consider this: if attacker got the access to that Microsoft update servers, and in those patches he made some modifications and upload his malicious payload. Now when the Microsoft release their patches, those patches you going to download, and if you download those patches, that malicious code payload also got downloaded to your system, right? And once that is downloaded, you will install those patches, and that malicious code will go to your system. And after that, whatever the malicious function is attached to that payload going to execute. So consider integrity here, why it is so important. Having Microsoft patches, which is legit, having a code who's protecting your system from malicious activities, but now modification into that will do the otherwise work. I mean, it will do some bad things to your system, right? Based on whatever the code is executed in that. So integrity is that important. I mean, integrity is nothing but keeping whatever information, data, code, whatever it is, accurate. It should not get altered. If it is altered, then you're losing the integrity. We have too many examples like that. Like, if you're sending some emails to your senior managers, but in transit your email got intercepted by the malicious user. He altered those emails and sent some wrong emails to your managers or someone else, like, or something you have uploaded over the internet from the YouTube or some other Insta, whatever the accounts, and those data modified in a such a way that something else got uploaded, which is not good. So integrity is applied everywhere in every example. But let's understand how we can maintain this integrity. So I have derived three important things which is important when we talk about the integrity. Number one is detect changes. Consider you have in your organization some DLP, like data loss prevention sort of software, which generally see what is right and what is wrong, or it sees what actually you have sent via email and then what actually get modified. IDS, like intrusion detection systems, if something changes happen, it can see with IDS, right? So those detection mechanism in your organization, right? And achieving more security using some industrial standard functions like the hashing algorithms, as we have seen on first slide the image, the stamping of your information with some secure functions, right? It's like creating a unique digital fingerprints that breaks if data is modified. So having that in place, the next is verify authenticity. Here also you will get surety that what I am sending to my senior managers, same data is getting received. Or when I'm accessing something from the web browser and what I am getting delivered over online communication, those can verified using digital signatures, right? And if the authenticity verified, we can say the data whatever we are achieving receiving is correct. And control modifications, like in our organization we can have the change management process which generally ensures what's going on. For example, this is some example I would like to say. So when we work in an IT organization, if some changes we need to do with respect to any countermeasures, devices, or some process, we have a process in place called change management. Like change need to be raised, then someone will approve that, and then more discussion happen on that on a cap calls, and based on that you will get the authority to proceed for that, right? So having such sort of modifications in a work environment will helps to achieve this integrity, right? So this essence, know when data changes, verify it comes from trusted sources, and ensure all modifications are authorized and documented. We achieve when we think about detect the changes, verify authenticity, and control modifications, right? So I hope the integrity part is clear to you. Now let's move to the availability. So availability ensures system and data are accessible when needed by authorized user. Like, consider tomorrow there is a sale on amazon.com or flipkart.com, and the sale will begin 12 noon, right? When the sale started and Amazon site is not reachable there, for example, I am not able to browse to the Amazon site, I am not able to log into that site to do some purchase, so that site is not available. But the other side, the Flipkart site having the sale on the same time, but Flipkart site is available. So obviously, the user who's wanted to purchase something will move to the other side like a Flipkart and do the shopping. So the Amazon site get lost here, right? Having not available on that time. More examples, like when you are doing some banking activities, and in banking activities you are doing some, say, transfer of the money from one side, from your account to some other accounts. But when you log into the bank side, the transfer feature is not available, right? Although that is available, but due to some issues facing by the banking side, that feature is not available. I mean, you can take any example when I talk about the availability. Availability is the feature is very critical, and it is almost every example you can get this thing. So what is the critical thing strategies when we talk about the availability feature? Number one, prevent failure. Okay, so how to prevent failures? You can achieve that using the backup mechanism, or there is something called, in a technical term, clustering mechanism, where you have a high availability of your resources. Like, for example, if one resource is got down, the other resource is available, both resources doing the same functionality, but some reason one resource got down, the other resource will come up, and you will get availability from it, right? So redundancy is critical, like in networking world, redundancy for the servers, networks, the power supplies and everything, right? So that what we are achieving here, we are eliminating the single point of failures, right? One, instead of having one thing, you need to have two things. Now next one is like withstand disruptions. So withstand disruption. Consider an example. You are hosting some servers, web servers, and having some site loaded on that. Consider the example of the Amazon site. If Amazon site or Amazon having a sale and they are hosting that sale on particular time, at the same time they should have backups or high availabilities for their server from where the requester is going to hit and get the details, right? So consider 5 servers at a time working same things, right? And whatever the users are, for now they are hitting, say, first 2 servers, they are getting the data from that, but there are 3 more servers which are in a backup, or which are in a the state of standby, in case if these servers got more CPU, more memory consumption, and not able to deliver the request what requirement is getting from the users, then these standby servers get activated and come in a play, right? So according to that, you will be getting more support here, and you will be withstand with the disruptions. And lastly, it's like a recover quickly mechanism. So if something happen which is not be recover easily, for example, consider this: if you have these servers, say, also in a state of doing all the transactions, but you need to have a another backup site where similar sort of servers present, and consider these servers are in US side and these servers in some other Europe locations. Okay, uh, if for now consider the example of the Amazon sale only, if the requesters are hitting to these servers and due to some reason the servers got down, not able to give answer to the request, then there should be some disaster recovery sites. For example, if this gone, the other site can restore rapidly, and the work or the request will proceed from these sites. Like that you can achieve this disaster recovery, right? So recover quickly is like a disaster recovery planning to ensure rapid restoration after such sort of major incidents happens. So the essence here is like eliminate a single point of failure, maintain operations during the problems, and have proven recovery plans to minimize downtime. I hope you understand the basic of three important pillars of the cybersecurity or any sort of security, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So we will going to discuss more on that on this, but in some other video. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and have a wonderful day.